Indians have reached a crucial junction in their season. The offense has gone silent, and they enter a 4-game series in Tampa, a season-high 12 games out in the AL Central. Leadership and production are needed, and we'll find out who emerges in these 2 weeks before the All-Star break. It's time for the Tribe to step it up next on Sports Time Ohio. It has not been smooth sailing for the Indians thus far on their current road trip. We'll see if they can get things turned around tonight under the big top at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, as the Indians open a 4-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Cody Anderson will get the start for the Tribe tonight, and he is set to become just the 3rd pitcher in Major League history to make his first 2 big league starts against the same team.
Well, not many guys go out there and can give you 7 2/3 innings in your first Major League start. He was amped up in the first inning, throwing about 95, 96. He settled in, and he really cruised. He mixed in a nice sinker, a changeup, a little slider, a few curveballs, and really had him off balance. Now, the test will be, can he do the same thing again in their home ballpark his very next start? He's going to be matched up against Nathan Carnes. Carnes pitched a very good game, 5 1/3 innings, only allowed the 1 run. That 1 run came in the first inning when he had a couple of wild pitches right there. So he pitched very good, and he's a curveball specialist.
And Carnes is coming off a start against Toronto in which he took a no-hitter into the 6th inning, his last time out. It's the Indians, and it's the Tampa Bay Rays, and we've got the play-by-play action coming up. When we return, Andre Knott joins us to tell us about the Tribe's team meeting before tonight's ballgame. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Florida for the opener of a 4-game series between the Tribe and the Tampa Bay Rays. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you. Let's go down to the field. Andre Knott is standing by. Andre, as you know, the Indians have gone 19 innings without scoring a run. Only 2 extra base hits during that time. I know they held a closed-door team meeting. They appear to be loose. Any idea what came out of that meeting?
I didn't know we were counting how many innings we haven't scored since. But, yes, we are counting. A lot came out of that meeting. Terry Francona told me earlier today, he says, look, I was frustrated last night. I was mad. But I know yelling and screaming at my team does nothing but help me get over the hurt. So he wrote out some notes last night. And then he wrote some more this morning. And then he went in front of the team today around 5 o'clock, and he talked to the team, and he reminded them of who they said they wanted to be when they came out of spring training, and told them, look, when we get down 3 runs, we can't score 3 runs all in one inning. Let's just go one segment at a time. Let's not worry about getting all those runs. And J.C. Kipnis made a good point last week. He said, look, we're not chipping away in the middle of the game like we need to. And Terry Francona said that's because this team is all trying to make it up all at one time. Right now he wants them to take small segments to work their way to getting back to the team that they planned on being when they came out of spring training out of Arizona.
You know, it's a little refresher course is what it is, because when you look at it, when you look at the opening series of the year, they've been terrible. 1-12 at home, 5-7 on the road. In their first 11 series openers, just 1-10. It's hard to win a series when you lose that first game. But, you know, you can see their record in their last 8 series, 1-6-1. He's just reminding the team, look, you can't do it all at once. You've got to be in this together. You all got to pull in the same direction. Now it's up to the players to try and do that.
It sounds to me like Terry was just reaffirming to them the lesson we all learned from our parents when we were toddlers. And that is, you got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. It's one foot in front of the other instead of trying to get it all at once. You know, you can't make up the deficit they have.
Can't be a hero.
At once. You can't win 8 games in one night.
Right.
So just worry about each at bat, each inning. Try to win and go from there.
And the funny thing is that when this all first started, you remember some of these lines came out. Hey, we can't do it all at once. We got to do it a little bit at a time. Let's win a series.
Yeah.
But to win a series, you got to win the first game. Win the first game, and then you'll see what happens. Win the second game, then you have a chance to sweep.
Well, it's the Indians and the Rays. Terry Francona, Kevin Cash will match wits here at Tropicana Field in St. Pete. We'll see if the Indians can return the favor after Tampa took 2 or 3 from the Tribe in Cleveland. Starting lineup for Terry Francona's Cleveland Indians ball club tonight, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jason Kipnis in the leadoff spot, followed by Francisco Lindor. Michael Brantley will hit third. David Murphy, coming off a 4-hit night in Baltimore, will back cleanup. Then it's Carlos Santana, followed by Brandon Moss. Gomes, Urshela, and Bourne will round it out.
Nathan Carnes is our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher tonight. He is 2 starts ago pitched against the Indians. He received the win in 5 1/3 innings, gave up 6 hits and 1 run. They ended up winning that ball game 4-1.
And Carnes' first pitch is a fastball that Jason Kipnis swings through. And we are underway. The 0-1. Missed outside. Tampa Bay tied with Baltimore for the top spot in the American League East. The 1-1. Kipnis lines it to left field. That is a fair ball. Down into the corner. It will rattle around. DeJesus digs it out, but not before Kipnis rolls into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, the third time he tried to go outside, and Kipnis just stayed right on it. It's the third time he had a fastball. This one was elevated a little bit, but he stayed on it beautifully. Drilled it down the line, and DeJesus had to play it off the wall. Kipnis' 25th double. And let's look at the double leaders. He's right on top. Ahead of Dozier, Brantley in third.
Francisco Lindor squares, bunts it right back into the catcher Rivera for a foul ball.
Now, sometimes on turf, you'll try and be a little more perfect with a bunt because you're afraid it may roll out a little bit more than it does on grass. But this turf is pretty true. It's almost just like grass. Just get it down. You've got good speed at second base.
Longoria, even with the bag at third, now cheating in. Lindor squares out, throw down to second base, but back safely is Kipnis. 1-1 to count on Lindor as Longoria goes to the mound to talk with Carnes.
Carnes in his start against the Indians 2 starts ago allowed consecutive hits in the first to Kipnis, who hit a double. Lindor had a single, and I think he bunted him over there, and then he had 2 wild pitches where the Indians scored their 1 run.
He bunts this one.
Beautiful.
Carnes only play at first. He has to hurry, throws it away, and the Indians take the lead as Kipnis scores from third, and Lindor goes to second. There's a perfect example of how speed kills, except now what are we getting here? The umpire is he going to call Lindor out?
If you got to see if he was in the box there going down the line. You rarely see that.
Meanwhile, Krause is a little banged up on the play at first base. There was contact there.
Why is Kipnis going back to second?
I think they're calling Lindor out and they're making him go back.
For what? Yeah, it was going to be close down the line. It looked like the throw was up the line. Now, if the ball hit Lindor and he's out of that box, then he is out, and Kipnis would have to go back. Let's take a look at it and see. Here it is coming now. He's on the inside part of the line, so he could have interfered maybe with the guys, what they're saying. He was on the inside part. He should have been inside the line. He was in fair territory. That's tough to call there when he was on the. Let's see on this angle. See, he goes out into fair territory. We don't see him.
He's on the bag at first.
But was he still in fair territory before he hit the bag is what they're saying. So that must be it. And I'm sure that's something that you can't.
Seen that play many times before, and very rarely do you ever see that called. Unless he's got to be completely inside.
See, he is. He is inside the line. He is in fair territory. And the ball hits him, so that's a good call. He is out. You rarely see it.
Yeah, that's a good angle there.
That's the angle we could finally figure it out. He should be on the other side of that line to the foul bit part of the line. He was not, and that's why he's called out.
and it's interference. That's why Kipnis has to go back to second.
Right. I mean, it was a sacrifice anyway.
Boy.
So that's a bad break.
So what looked like an early lead for the Indians is wiped out, and now 1 out for Michael Brantley, who will try to pick him up. Batting .333 with runners in scoring position.
That is a weird play to start the game out.
You're not kidding.
Because you rarely see it called. A lot of times it's when the pitcher's down this side, the first base side, where he's throwing up the line where you may interfere with a guy, but you don't see it called often. But he was on the third base side of the line. But he was in fair territory. We finally did get a chance to see that.
Brantley with a base hit in the right field. Kipnis coming around third. Sarball's going to wave him home. Souza misplays the ball in right field, and the Indians take a 1-0 lead. And let me hold. Wait. Yes, it's official. It counts. This one's on the board. Give Brantley his 38th run batted in on the year. Souza, he might have had a play, but once he didn't come up with it cleanly, no chance.
Yeah, it would have been tough. Kipnis had a good jump, but another fastball. This guy threw a lot of breaking balls against the Indians back in Cleveland. He never fielded it cleanly. So he really had no chance to get Kipnis. He took his eye off of it. So the Indians will take a 1-0 lead with an RBI single by Michael Brantley, his 38.
So that snaps the Indians' 19-inning scoreless drought. First time the Indians have scored in the first inning since they did it against Carnes 10 days ago. Now Murphy shoots one out of play to the left.
Now, like I said, it was a weird play because both of those guys, Kipnis and Lindor, got on in a couple of wild pitches. And then he blanked him the rest of the way. So you can't let up. He gives up another one. And this young rookie has really pitched very well this year for the Rays. He's 15 starts. He only has 7 decisions, 4 and 3, but he left 4 times in a ball game when he was in line for the win, and then ended up receiving a no decision because of the bullpen blew the save. And like I said, 27% of his pitches have been curveballs this year, and you haven't seen many yet.
Well, it's just big for Brantley to come up with that early hit with a runner in scoring position. Now he's been doing well all season long. I mentioned .333 average on the year with runners in scoring position, but as a team the Indians have the 3rd lowest batting average with runners in scoring position in Major League Baseball. Murphy is swinging and a miss. He goes down 2 away.
Check out the Rays defense brought to you by Chrysler. Behind Carnes tonight, it looks like this. DeJesus is in left, Kiermaier at center, Souza in right, Longoria at third, Cabrera at short, Forsythe at second, Krause at first, Rivera doing the catching.
Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire. Crew chief Bill Miller down at third. Jim Wolf at first, Adrian Johnson at second. Now Carlos Santana takes the strike.
Well, talking about that defense, this is an outfield that we witnessed plays very deep as a team. You know, they did in Cleveland, and I'm sure they're going to here on the turf, but they're always deep.
Santana taking 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 of Carlos's 9 home runs have come on the road this year. The 9th during Friday night in Baltimore.
He's attacking a lot of the hitters now with his changeup. Just going fastball changeup here in the first inning.
A run in for the Tribe here in the first. Brantley at first with 2 down. And a 1-2 pitch is swung on, and it gets by into right field. On his way to third goes Brantley, and he just does beat the tag. As Drupal Cabrera was running almost stride for stride with Brantley to try to get over there to third base and take that throw.
Trying to see who was out in right field trying to track this one down.
I think it was Longoria, Rick, who was the infielder that it got by.
Right, okay, I was wondering. Yeah, they put Longoria over there. He was trying to track it down, got under his glove for a single. And then here comes a throw from right field with 2 outs. Brantley gets in ahead of the tag. So another hit, 3 hits in the first.
Now runners at the corners with 2 down for Brandon Moss.
There's the curveball.
Pops the first pitch to shallow right. And Souza makes the catch to end the inning. But Michael Brantley delivers with an RBI single here in the first, and the Indians lead it 1-0. By Toyota. Kevin Kiermaier leading it off. Grady Sizemore just signed with Tampa, or just called up from the minors. He's in the DH spot, batting second. Longoria third. Then it's DeJesus, Forsythe, and Souza. Wow, he's having a heck of a year. Yep. As Drupal Cabrera, Mark Krause, and Rene Rivera.
And Cody Anderson is our Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher for the Indians. His second start, both of them coming against Tampa. Awfully tough, you know, to make your first start, and he did so well in 7 2/3 innings. To come back and have to do it again, but he should make an adjustment. They're going to have to make it to him. In his very first start, you remember he was little, that fastball command was a little scattered, but he tightened it in after he settled in and got a couple outs. He was throwing very hard early.
One ball, one strike on Kevin Kiermaier. Upstairs, knocked him back a little bit. hot back, and this probably will get into the seats. Gomes gives it a look, but no play.
Check the Indians defense for you behind Anderson tonight, brought to you by Chrysler. It's going to be Brantley and left, Bourne at center, Moss and right. Urshela and Lindor on the left side, Kipnis and Santana on the right with Gomes catching.
Pop back out of play. Skeeter Barnes, who is the Tampa Bay Rays outfield and base running coordinator, said last season that 4 years ago Kevin Kiermaier was already the best outfielder in their organization. Big bouncer to first. Santana with the flip. Anderson beats him to the bag. One away. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For the Indians hitters, take advantage when you're in those hitters counts. And can Cody buck Tampa Bay? Not sure what that means, but let's go with it. The 2-2 pitch. We did arrive a little late last night, so some members of our crew are operating on a little sleep deprivation. Grady Sizemore just signed with Tampa a little over a week ago, minor league deal, and then got the call up. Three for 5 yesterday against the Red Sox in his Rays debut. And he sends one high in the air to left. Michael Brantley will make the catch. 2 down. Our window system's game time temperature tonight. Inside the dome, it's a comfortable 70 degrees. Outdoors, a muggy 87. Evan Longoria. Riding a 6-game hitting streak. Takes down low ball 1. Longoria is the Rays all-time leader in home runs, doubles, extra base hits, runs batted in. Out of play. When it's all said and done, he will be the most prolific player in this franchise's history.
Yeah. Not sure how much longer his contract's for. It's got to be about 4 or 5 more years.
It seemed like it was a long deal when he
it
signed
was. It was.
Off the end of the bat, right back to Cody Anderson. And he breezes through the first. After an inning, it's the Indians 1 and the Rays nothing. 1-0. The Indians lead it as we head to the second inning of play. Our T-Mobile Game Changer, longest active scoreless streaks. Carnes is over. Erasmo Ramirez will start tomorrow with 11 straight. He's got a ways to go to catch up to Gallardo of Texas.
Yeah. Right, his last start came against Toronto and shut him down after they beat him up Texas the night before.
Yan Gomes will lead off for Cleveland. Foul right back. The 1-1. And that's in the dirt. Gomes just 4 hits in his last 37 at bats. Dealt with the knee injury that knocked him out of action. Then he came back from that. Looked like he was just starting to find his stride when the neck injury knocked him back. He sends this one deep and high off the fence in left center field.
Boy, that did not miss by much.
And he'll go into second base with a leadoff double. And the Indians already with their second double of the night, both of them leading off innings.
Oh, he left the pitch middle of the plate for Gomes right there, and he gave it a ride. It misses by a couple of feet to get out of here. Watch it hit just under that line.
Wow.
Not even a couple feet. That would have been over. So another leadoff double here for the Tribe. It's a good sight.
Now here's Giovanni Urshela riding a 7-game hitting streak. And he shoots it foul out of play to the right. Urshela has hit in 12 out of the 15 games that he has started this year. Three out of 10 so far with a runner in scoring position. And he's quickly in the hole 0-2. Got a piece, but Rivera held on for strike 3. Second strikeout for Carnes.
And he did get a piece of it, and it goes right into the glove, and he catches it. He was trying to shoot it that way, even with 2 strikes, but ends up going down as a strikeout victim. So see if one of the next couple of guys can pick him up and get a base hit.
Michael Bourne trying to snap an 0-for-11 slump. Called strike, hits 0-2.
Take a look at this on our Nissan pitch tracker. Looked like it might have been changed. That's off the plate. That didn't look like a strike to me. And that forces you to have to swing at things.
Yeah.
You know, you get to 2 strikes. You're not going to put the 3rd strike in his hands, or the call let him make it and go walking back, so you have to foul it off. So after that first at bat as a hitter, a lot of times you check out that home plate umpire and you make decisions on what you want to do. And that was a high pitch, and it could have been a little bit away as well. So he's going to end up having to protect.
One ball, two strikes. Combs with a leadoff double to start the inning, but Urshela unable to move him over, striking out. Now Bourne with the outfield shading him toward left. Strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Carnes. 2 down.
Well, Live Indians Baseball is back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone and tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Well, let's see if Jason Kipnis can deliver again. He doubled to start the game and scored the only run thus far in the first. Takes down an in-ball one.
Now he's breaking out that curveball. You say with 3 pitches to Jason, it looked like they were pretty much fastballs away trying to establish it. Jason got him on the 3rd one.
These are the backbreaker hits that teams can come up with, and these are the ones that have eluded the Indians the most. They have the lowest batting average in baseball with runners in scoring position and 2 outs at just 165 as a team.
Yeah, they go a long way for a ball club when you can get them. That's the toughest hit to get in baseball.
Yeah.
2-out base hit with a runner in scoring position. The absolute toughest. When you can get a couple of them, and if you could ever get one early, it seems like everybody else in that dugout relaxes.
2-1. Well, that was the hit early last night. They got Baltimore going against Cleveland when they took advantage of the 2-out error in the first. Then they got
they did
the 2-run 2-out RBI hit. 3-1 pitch, line to right center field. That's in the gap. That will plate Gomes, and the Indians lead is 2-0. Kipnis holds at first with a 2-out RBI single. He's 2 for 2. His 32nd run batted in on the year.
There you go. Big base hit on a changeup. 3-1 fastball count. Kipnis kept his hands back and gets it right back up. You know, a lot of guys get anxious. They want to try to pull the pitch. Well, that's a changeup. It was elevated. He kept his hands back enough. That's all you need is a base hit. Well done by Jason Kipnis. 2-0 Indians.
Now Francisco Lindor. Lindor called out for interference in the first inning. Already his 29th multi-hit game. We're only in the second inning as he is 2 for 2. Up and away.
It's the time now too with a 2-0 lead early in this ball game. If you're Jason Kipnis and you can get a read on this guy, take off. 2 outs, get yourself in scoring position. Apply the pressure. Good. They know they're thinking about you over there when they throw over.
Tell you, Rick, the Indians have been aggressive against Carnes. I know he's thrown a lot of strikes, but they already have 5 hits in the game.
My belief is they should be aggressive pretty much for everybody as hitters. You get up there with a more aggressive attitude instead of falling behind in the count.
the fastball back. And the count stays 1-2. Mark Krause holding Kipnis at first. Lindor shoots it over toward the Tampa dugout.
Nice job of battling. That was a curveball there. Get a piece of it. Make them work. Turns already with 40 pitches. Here we are in the second inning. Keep them going. Get it up there.
Another foul ball by Lindor. This one's fouled off the other way.
This is a good at-bat for Lindor. No matter how it turns out, certainly want to see him get a base hit, but he is making him work to get him out.
This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And already the 43rd here tonight for Carnes.
Tried everything. Fastballs, changeups, curveballs. This can drive a pitcher crazy. Changeup. Look at him. Look at the, just watch the demeanor and the body language of Carnes on the mound.
He just kind of turned his back after that last one as if to say, come on already.
I know. Rivera is just, you know, he's going to go out and give him a breather is what he's going to do. He can't believe it either. Watch the body language here. What, are you kidding me? What do I have to do to get this guy to put it in play? Or swing and miss?
And he's been ahead the entire, pretty much the entire at bat.
Well, you might want to try bouncing one, you know, to see if he'll go after. That's why I'm thinking if you're Kipnis, go ahead and take off because he's due to throw a curveball out of the zone and in the dirt.
He went too far on the appeal. He strikes out, and the inning is over. But Jason Kipnis is already 2 for 2. He has scored one, and he has driven one home, and the Indians lead it 2-0. Bottom of the second inning, the Indians out to an early 2-0 lead. Tampa went 1-2-3 in the first. Cody Anderson back to work, facing David DeJesus, making his 17th start on the year as the Rays cleanup hitter.
Yeah, it's funny. You look at both these teams in the lineups today, and you see DeJesus hitting fourth for Tampa, and David Murphy hitting fourth for the Indians, which neither of them are number 4 hole hitters.
No, DeJesus had made one career start in the cleanup spot before this year.
But with, I think with some of the young hitters that they have in that Tampa lineup, they don't want to push them into the number 4 hole and put all the pressure on them. Even though there's some guys that can hit the ball. Souza can hit. He has 14 home runs as a rookie, but again, as I said, he's a rookie. That was a good pitch, location-wise, just off the plate, forced him to swing at it. The changeup going down and away. You see where Gomes is. That's actually over in the right-handed batter's box. It's on that white chalk, so that had to be 6 inches off the plate, but you get a swing to foul it off.
Popped him up. Kipnis is there. One away. Let's go down to Andre.
You know, this start for Cody Anderson was a twofold thing. He was supposed to start on Saturday, but we were obviously rained out. And talking to Mickey Callaway, he says, look, we wanted him to go against the Rays for a couple of reasons, but one of them was that he had so much success against them back on Father's Day. Now, there are some people that think when you pitch against a team twice in a row that could be a disadvantage. But he said he was so pumped up the first 2-3 innings that he really didn't go off the game plan. And tonight they want him just to go off the game plan on how to attack hitters with his best stuff, and they think he can be successful. And they said that so far he's been able to do that. But that's why they wanted to start him tonight here against Tampa rather than in Baltimore.
Yeah, but as you know, Andre, they certainly understand making your major league debut how you're a little amped up for the first couple innings.
Absolutely, and they had no problem with that, but they said tonight don't look for the 95-96, just throw your regular game.
Bounce in the hole. Lindor, long throw on the money. 2 down. Arkia in the driver's seat shows you that Cody Anderson is the 7th Indians pitcher to go at least 7 shutout innings in his major league debut. And as I mentioned before, he's only the 3rd pitcher ever to make his first 2 major league starts against the same team. And I guess it's not surprising that the other 2 guys to do it have done it since we went to the unbalanced schedule.
Right.
Jimmy Gobble in 2003, Sean
Kansas
Henn
City,
in 2005. Right? I believe he was with the Royals then.
Yeah. I believe you're,
Although the ironic thing is it's not in the division. You would think maybe a better chance of it being a divisional opponent because that's the teams you play so often. But
that's true.
The 1-1. Missed outside. 3 balls and a strike. Steven Souza Jr. is 0 for his last 14. But oh, can he hit him a long way. 14 dingers. What a chase ball 4 right there.
In off the plate. But that's what young hitters do. They get into the hitter's counts, and the next thing you see is a big moving fastball. In off the plate. That's the same spot where DeJesus swung at that pitch. It was in on the chalk line to the right-handed hitter, and he helped him out there, no question.
Gomes wants a fastball away. The payoff pitch is drilled to center. Bourne makes the chest-high catch. That was a laser. But the Rays go 1-2-3. 2-0 Tribe after 2 innings.
Dollar Dog Night as the Indians will host the Oakland A's on Friday, July 10th. And fans also enjoy a fireworks show following the ball game. You can visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Michael Brantley to lead off the third, drove in the Tribe's first run with a single in the first inning.
Driving in the Indians' first round on a low fastball. He was able to pull in the hole between first and second, scoring Jason Kipnis. Well, and I can tell you his curveball is not as good tonight, at least at this part of the game, as it was when we were in Cleveland. He used it a lot, and it was very effective for him. He's trying to go fastball changeup right now until he gets a feel for it.
3 balls and a strike. Line drive, base hit, right field, and Brantley locked in. He's 2 for 2, just like Jason Kipnis. And for the third inning, Rick, the Indians have their leadoff man aboard.
He muscled that ball into right field.
Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday in Baltimore. The only bright spot for the Tribe was David Murphy, who went 4 for 4. Second 4-hit game of the year. And he'll bat here with a runner aboard. Just missed outside with it. Strike at the knees. It's 2-1.
Comes back with a quality strike right there. Down, away. He hasn't been able to pinpoint that consistently yet.
Murphy sends one to center. Kiermaier got a great break on it as he flies in to make the catch. One away. As you said, they play deep. And he looked like he was coming out of the starter's blocks.
That's what I'm saying. When you play deep like that, your first move has to be in like that. It can't be back on every swing, because you're going to know if that ball is cracked and you know it's going to get over your head, it's going to be a home run anyway. So you have to break in on everything as an outfielder. And that's sometimes why you have guys play deep, because they're not very good at going back on the ball. But Kiermaier can run them down.
Carlos Santana single his first time up. Pops it up, and that is going to find its way into the seats.
Fly ball outs recently for Santana. What do you have in the doubleheader? 4 to left field, 1 to center, 1 to right yesterday.
Brantley got a huge jump and no throw by Rivera. He had no chance. Michael with his 9th stolen base on the year.
Well, and there was no chance for Rivera to throw him out. Look at the jump. Huge. He had it read beautifully. Takes off, gets himself in scoring position.
Santana pulls up the first base line. 2 down as Brantley slides over to third. That'll bring up Brandon Moss, who flied to right his first time up. A very frustrated Brandon Moss. Talked after the game yesterday to reporters, and he said, look, I know what it looks like from the outside, but I also know how we feel on the inside, and they're 2 totally different things. Breaking ball misses up high. He said, quote, me and Carlos, meaning Santana, have done a terrible job getting guys in. We need to learn and remember who we were as hitters, take our approach up there and do our job. He said the biggest thing is that we're very disappointed in ourselves because regardless of what anyone else says, we know that we've played terribly. We know that if we were just playing mediocre, we'd be right in it, but we're not. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on this subject.
You know, in talking to Brandon, he shaved his face, said he wanted a fresh start today. If you look closely at him, he says, look, he was just voicing some things he felt that needed to be said. He wasn't putting any of his teammates down. And when I talked to Terry Francona about it, he goes, look, I don't read the newspaper. I stay away from those quotes because they're after the game. He goes, but I get it. And he goes back to what we said in the pregame. He said he wants guys to simplify things. He knows Moss feels like he was brought here to be a guy to drive in runs. Just worry about your job and nothing else.
That's all you can do as a player. Nowadays, there's so much media and so many things get out there afraid to say anything.
Well, sometimes it's okay to just voice your frustration.
Let
you got to blow off steam somewhere.
What's wrong with saying, hey, man, right now I stink. There's nothing wrong with it. Accept it. I've been bad. Everybody has bad days, bad weeks. There's nothing wrong with that. People now, it's crazy. Look, you can't be expected to drive them in all the time, but you have to be better than what they have been, and they know it, but they have to do something about it.
The 2-2. It won't happen here. Moss goes down swinging, and Brantley is stranded at third. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 3 with the Indians in front 2-0. Cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. We go to the bottom of the third, and it will be the bottom third of the Rays order due up. Cody Anderson has retired the first 6 to start. Asdrubal Cabrera, Mark Krause, and Rene Rivera to bat for Tampa. Chops at the first pitch, pulls it foul. Talked to Cabrera before the game, and he's feeling much better offensively right now. And why not? In his last 10 games, he's batting .375. 8 hits in his last 13 at bats, so he's in a pretty good groove.
You know, it's funny because these Rays are struggling offensively just like the Indians, you know. They don't have a proven guy that can drive in runs, and Longoria hit third. You can pitch around him, and you know there's a lot of spots in that lineup with young kids you can pitch to. And consistently, it's tough to score runs. So you may have hot spells, but they may not last as long as some others that you've had in your career. We've watched Cabrera for a while, and he was a good hitter for a while.
Yeah, and you're right. He could get hot and just dominate
stay
for a
hot.
month.
Yeah. But when you're on a team that you're about as good as the teammates around you is the way I look at it offensively.
Cody Anderson did a nice job attacking Cabrera. And, you know, we talked about this when we had Dennis Martinez in Cleveland. It's the old in and out thing. And if you get Cabrera looking in and then you drop it away, you just take the sting out of his bat, and all he can do is roll over on that pitch.
Add, subtract, you move it in, you move it around. And what I like about Cody Anderson tonight is he doesn't look amped up. You know, he's out there, he looks nice and relaxed. He's throwing his off-speed pitches for strikes. He's attacking the hitters. He hasn't walked anybody, hasn't struck anybody out. Let your defense do the work. You like that. You know, he's a big, I never realized what a big dude he is. You get next to him. He's put together very well. Big legs, good for a starting pitcher.
Well, I know it has to be a lot different when you actually walk out there and stand in the center of the diamond. But it also has to help for him just being around, being here. You know, you get called up, bang, you're in the big leagues. There's your first big league start. Now you get a chance to sit back, watch the other guys go to work, watch them do their thing.
You know what? And you may believe that you belong here. Hey, I pitched a good game. I could be one of these 5 guys, and why shouldn't I? You know, and then you say, I don't want to go back. Let me go out there and just do my thing, and you'll learn something every day. Hey, you get to the big league, you get to see the things, how they work, get around. You don't ever want to go back down again. It doesn't happen to everybody. A lot of guys make a couple of trips back, but if you get an opportunity, once you get here, stay here. It's wide open for the number 5 spot.
Right.
It's open for the taking.
Take it and run with it.
It has been all year long.
2-2 pitch.
Beautiful.
Rung him up. First strikeout for Anderson. 2 down here in the third.
This will be our Circle K strikeout, Anna. Dandy. Look at it on the outside edge. Right there, baby. Nice pitch. He couldn't pull the trigger. Change up. See you later.
Two of the biggest guys on the field right there, because Cody Anderson goes 6'4" and 235.
There you go. One fastball straight up in the air. Santana lost it. So did Kipnis.
Santana finds it and makes the catch.
Yep, they both lost it at one point in time.
9 up, 9 down for Cody Anderson. Who got it? You got it.
I got it. You take it. Look at you see, it's a tough ceiling in here. When it gets that high up, you've got the catwalks up there you deal with, and the white ceiling, and it can be very difficult. And at one time, they both missed it. They both lost it up in the ceiling, but Santana hung with it, picked it up, and got the out. Scary feeling.
Well, it's one of those deals, too, where sometimes you lose it, and you just have to wait and hope it comes out.
Well, you have to wait. It's easier said. When you're out there, your heart's skipping a beat.
And I also think, Rick, Yan Gomes stands in. Breaking ball in for a strike. You know, I've been out there shagging fly balls in this ballpark before. It's one thing when you're in the outfield and the ball's coming to you, it'll pass through a spot where you lose it, but then you'll pick it up again. When you're on the infield and it's popped straight up, you might not pick it up again.
The scariest thing in the whole situation is when you have runners on base and you know if you don't catch the ball, they're going to score.
That's a helpless feeling. But on the infield, you got guys right there to help you out.
You hope.
One-two pitch to Gomes, and he lines it foul the other way. Gomes just missed a home run his first time up. He hit it high off the wall in left center field. Came home to score on a 2-out RBI hit by Jason Kipnis.
Oh,
Bloops it to right field. It'll be it will be a hit. Tell you, Souza came in flying in. I thought he was going to lay out for it, but he probably thought, man, if I miss this, then Gomes is going to keep on running around the bases.
Right. And you can't do that as an outfielder. You got to keep it in front of you. That's just a beautiful job of hitting. That was a great pitch. He had no chance. He was just going to foul it off, but you bloop it in. You can't believe it. Good at bat by Gomes. He is now 2 for 2.
Giovanni Urshela struck out his first time up, and he went aggressively after that pitch, but a swing and a miss. Carnes about to make his 70th pitch of the night. He has 5 Ks. He hasn't walked a batter, and frankly, he's pitched ahead to most of the Indians hitters. He's been behind a few times, but for the most part, he's been in good counts. But the Indians have just been aggressively getting after it. That ball got the umpire.
Ooh, it got him.
Urshela again in the hole, 0-2. Lines it to left field, a base hit. And Gomes stops at second base. But Giovanni Urshela extends his hitting streak to 8 games. And the Indians have their first 2 on here in the 4th inning.
It was just a spinner here. Now think about it, 0-2 count. And he leaves one right there. Urshela just bangs it into left field. So back-to-back singles. The Indians have had their leadoff man aboard every inning tonight. So they have applied the pressure.
Well, it's what we talk about so often in the big leagues. You have to hit mistakes. You have to take advantage when that pitcher makes a mistake.
You better hit mistakes,
because you're not going to make a living when he makes his pitch.
That's right. You've got to take advantage of it.
Bourne bunts it. Longoria looks to second and takes the out at first. 1 away, 2 into scoring position. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. Jason Kipnis already off to a great start. Double down the left field line in the first inning and came home to score the first run. Then with 2 outs in the second, we gapped one to drive home the Indians' second run of the evening.
Well, the table is set here to get another one because it looks like they're either going to pull the infield in or put them on and face Lindor and go for the double play.
I think that's what they're going to do here.
Which would be smart. Yes, they are. They're going to go for a double play and pitch the Rook. And he's already 2 for 2, so you Take your pitches, go to first base. But they'll have the bases loaded and one out and a chance to add to a 2-0 lead. Lindor's got to look forward to this. You just stay within yourself. He put up a great at-bat where he had, what was it, about a 9 or a 10 pitch at-bat. 10 pitch at-bat that he made Carnes really work to get him out.
And he was behind in the count.
He ended up
most of that at-bat.
Yes, he was. I mean, Carnes kept throwing strikes. He finally bounced a breaking ball and he got Lindor to chase it. But if he goes up there with that same approach, it's going to be a tough out again for Carnes.
Lindor's first at bat was a strange ball. First at bat. He was trying to sacrifice Kipnis over to third base and maybe get a hit in the process. And he was called out for interference when he collided with Mark Krause. Ran into his glove at first base. And so he was called out. Kipnis had to go back to second. But he would later score on the Brantley RBI knock. Now Lindor, bases loaded. One out. And the pitch is up and away, ball one.
Going back to that full windup, you know, they don't let a lot of young pitchers do this, but you know, I sort of like it if a guy's comfortable with it.
Ground ball, backhanded by Forsythe to Cabrera, and a double play. The Indians just 8 for 59 on the year with the bases loaded. Weeks left to get ready for the Velosano Bike Ride for Cancer Research. All kinds of options and different routes, 1- and 2-day rides. All the money raised by participants benefits Cancer Research at Cleveland Clinic. Spread the word and bike to cure. Visit velosano.org. Bottom of the fourth here in St. Pete, and the Indians still lead 2-0. But they had a chance to open it up, and you hope that's not a turning point for Tampa. Carnes gets a huge double play to get out of the inning.
That's what you do. You load the bases, you take your chances, you make your pitch. They get the young guy to hit the ball at one of their defenders, and they turn it. So a wise decision not pitching to Kipnis.
Kevin Kiermaier grounded out his only time up. Fouls it back. It's 0-2. Kiermaier batted $173 in the month of May. But he hit June and turned on the heat, batting .346. Rip just fouled the first base side. It's going to be sad to see the month come to a close tomorrow.
You know, isn't it funny when the calendar turns that month? Sometimes it does make a difference and change with players. You know, oh, I had a good month. And you wouldn't think that, okay, another day, but a month is a tough time to have an extended stretch.
Well, that's the impressive thing with Jason Kipnis is that he had a May that was one for the ages.
Right.
And he's had a solid June. He's followed it right up. He hasn't fallen off.
It's been much more than solid for me. It's been great.
Brantley will make the catch. I guess I used the word solid just for comparison's sake.
Yeah, okay, let's not rate it to the great, the one for the ages. When you look at his month for June, it's right up there in the top of the league as well. And to do it on a team that hasn't been hitting is even that much harder to do. You're surprised that they don't pitch around him more the way he's been going. At least I am.
Here is Grady Sizemore. Fly to left his only time up. Chops the first pitch foul. Grady was with the Phillies earlier this year. Obviously a great run with the Indians, a three-time All-Star, twice a Gold Glove winner.
Well, he was a gamer and played every day. Then once the injury started, it just never stopped, it seemed.
At the end of the bat, and Michael Bourne has it in center field for out number 2. We'll bring up Evan Longoria. You know, we were talking when he was up in the first time, and he grounded out before we got to really finish. Because I thought you had asked me about his contract situation. He signed, it was a 10-year deal, so he's under contract through 2022.
Yeah, I thought it was 7 or 8. It was a 10-year deal, so he has 7 more to go.
So truly, by the time his career is over, he will be the face of this franchise. Not that he isn't already. His counterpart, Urshela, throws him out, and man, Cody Anderson is dealing once again. Your Northern Ohio Honda dealers. By the Cleveland Clinic. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough. One of the best-kept secrets in baseball hidden underneath that dome. Tampa Bay Rays tied for the lead in the American League East. But not many know about them. Here in Central Florida, boy, they've never really been a big draw.
No, they're last in the league. They're about 14,300 fans per game.
Michael Brantley up the middle. Will it get through? Cabrera off balance throw, and Brantley beats it out for an infield single, his third hit of the night.
Now they're going to go out and wait to see, but he beat it out easily. You could tell by the naked eye. Cabrera couldn't get anything on the throw. Brantley's foot was on the bag easily. By the time he's ranging far to his left, look, it couldn't get anything on it. Brantley is on the bag. Yep, no question.
Did you notice how it looked like he had a tough time getting a grip on it to begin with? Almost looked like the ball was moving in his hand as he was getting ready to throw it.
When you're running like that, it very easily could have been.
Yeah.
But you have to get it and get rid of it.
Well, Brantley looked like he had him timed, Rick. He was ready to take off. And Carnes held the ball just for a moment longer than Brantley thought he was going to.
That tells me that Carnes can't see the base runner. Brantley could do that, and he never stepped off. You know, he's looking at the plate. He really, even though his head is cocked, it doesn't look like he can see the base runner. Maybe that's why Brantley picked something up, or Sandy did over there, you know, to take off on a timing it.
Well, when he stole the last time up, he was a good 3 strides before Carnes delivered the ball.
Easy.
And now he's 2-0 to Murphy, probably thinking more about Brantley than he is Murphy.
That's, you know, that little bluff right there, or that little skip maybe is making him pay attention to the hitter more. You're right.
And all three have been outside. Almost a quasi pitch out. If the guy's going to run, that's the pitch you want to give your catcher chance. So now Murphy's probably taken all the way, and it's ball 4. So a leadoff infield single by Brantley and a 4-pitch walk to Murphy. First walk other than the intentional pass to Kipnis to load the bases last inning. Our in-game summary brought to you by Toyota. Michael Brantley with the RBI knock in the first. Kipnis an RBI hit in the second. That's been all the scoring so far.
Now the Indians have had opportunities. Now they've left 6 runners stranded, but now's the time you don't want to let them off the hook. You have an opportunity to add on right here and increase a 2-0 lead, middle part of the game. Do it.
Well, after being shut out in both games of a doubleheader yesterday, it's just nice to see the Indians get on the board and get on the board early here tonight.
Well, he's basically a fastball changeup pitcher tonight. I know he's thrown his breaking ball, but it's not as effective. It was very effective in his last start in Cleveland. He got a lot of outs and made it look easy. Right now, he is struggling to get through every inning, and the Indians have to make him pay.
The Indians have lost 8 of their last 11, and in those 11 games, they're averaging just 2.4 runs per ball game, and 6 times in those 11 games they've scored 1 run or less.
And that was getting worse from what the 17 or 18. It's starting to snowball on them and get worse.
Bullpen springs into action for Tampa as Santana takes down low 3-1. So this is a as you said, a key spot to really try to take command of the game as Xavier Cedeno gets loose.
Well, here's a situation for Santana. Don't try and hit a 3-run home run. You got a 3-1 count. Look for a base hit like Kipnis did with 2 outs. No way.
Straight up.
That big swing, he just can't help himself. Just cannot help himself.
Oh, the umpire waves it off, said it must have hit the screen, or did he drop the ball?
Are you kidding me? I was writing down too.
I was too. But the umpire immediately waved it off. And I think what Rivera is probably trying to argue is that he dropped it pulling it out of his glove. Let's take a look.
I took my eye off it. It stayed in play. There's the catch. Okay.
Oh, that's an out.
Yeah, it is. He was transferring it. Can they review that? If they can, I'd review that because he had it. You got to review that.
Yeah, they're going to take a look.
That was like the start of last year when they made you show the ball that you had possession. That's a surprising call there by Doug Eddings.
Now, in Doug Eddings' defense, I didn't see exactly where he was positioned, but with the catcher's back to him, he might not have seen that Rivera had it in the glove. He might have just seen the ball pop out and thought, well, he never had it.
That's why they're discussing that now.
Maybe somebody else had a better look.
Yeah, he's going to ask them first. If somebody said can change his mind and they can confer on it, then they won't have to go to the replay. But if not, it's worth a challenge if you're Kevin Cash. So either way.
And this goes back to, is that reviewable because it's in front of the umpires?
But you know what? It's a transfer play. I would think it is. Look, he was walking. He had a look at it right there. He was in good position. He was on the side. He catches the ball and he was transferring. What are they saying? Now he's going to go back to Cash. Maybe they don't know if they can review it or not, and maybe you can't review it.
I don't think you can.
Because it's in front of the umpires?
That's a weird one.
Well, that's the first time we've seen anything like this. And he was out. Let's put it that way. Well, he's explaining himself now, so it doesn't look like he's going to be out. Santana lives for another pitch. How lucky is that? See if he can change it now. Change his approach. He gets a break, and I mean a big one. So do the Indians.
Only if he can take advantage of it.
Yeah, Rivera's telling him, and I'll bet you that umpire's telling him, hey, you're probably right. I might have called a little too quickly because he did catch it.
Two on, nobody out, payoff pitch. And Santana strikes out anyway. One down.
6 strikeouts now. This swings over the top. So it still goes down as out number 1, so it did not hurt the Rays there.
Now here's Brandon Moss, 0 for 2. He is flat out struck out. Behind the bag at first. Krause goes to second. A late throw, but he gets the force there. And there are 2 down. If he goes right away, they might have a chance at the double play.
It would have been a lot closer. He was coming to get the out and then realized maybe I should go to second base. And plus, he made it a tougher throw for himself because he gets the runner in line with him. Look at that. That's a tough play for the shortstop. The ball, he loses sight of it behind the runner. They do get the out at second base, though. Fielder's choice, 3-6.
So first and third with 2 down, and Yan Gomes, the batter. He's already 2 for 2. He's one of 3 Indians hitters already with a multi-hit game. Kipnis, Brantley, and Gomes. High fly ball, center field. Kiermaier makes the catch. Another squandered opportunity for the Tribe here in the 5th. They still lead it 2-0. 2-0 Cleveland on top. Bottom of the 5th inning. I think he was out in the sun a little bit today.
He's got that tan, doesn't he? That bright white jersey stands out.
David DeJesus going to lead off. Bottom of the 5th for Tampa. Liner right at Lindor, 1 away.
I like the aggressiveness of Cody Anderson. He's going to make his pitch and he's going to hit a line drive, but guess what? That's pitching to your defense. There he is. He doesn't have to take a step. Another 1 pitch out for Anderson. Love it. He had a 9-pitch inning, I think, back in the 3rd.
Inside corner, a called strike to Logan Forsythe. Surprised he leaned away from that. He's been hit by a pitch 10 times this year. That's 2nd most in the American League.
Coming 90, I know I'd get out of the way. I would start leaning towards it. That hurts when you don't have protection.
Well, some guys are just human pincushions.
Well, okay.
Wasn't it Grady Sizemore used to get drilled all the time for the Indians?
Yep.
Used to be up there among the league leaders.
Yes, he did.
2 balls and a strike. Just threw it right by him. Cody Anderson, 24 years old. Ground ball to 3rd. Urshela on a tricky hop stays with it. And a perfect throw, 2 down.
You know, you look at Cody Anderson, and what makes his 92, 93 mile an hour fastball so effective, he's throwing his off speed, that changeup. He's locating it. It has movement to it. So the next thing you know, he's throwing that 92, 93, boom, it's in on you. And it's explosive, but boy, you've got to like playing behind this guy. If you're a defense, he keeps the ball in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ground ball outs. I like the way the guy works. Get the ball, get it quickly, throw strikes. Pretty much the pretty good pattern to pitch right there. Ask those guys that are standing out there how fun it is to play behind.
Work fast, throw strikes, change speeds. That's been the mantra for years.
Yeah.
No, it's easier said than done.
Right. Yes, it is.
I was listening to Don Sutton one time. Don Sutton, who was a teammate of yours, I know, in Milwaukee, and a Hall of Famer. He said there are some nights, he said, when you're in a groove, you can't get the ball fast enough to get it back. You know, when you're in that groove, he said, you get the ball and you want to just keep chucking it right at the hitters. He said there are other nights when you don't have it where it's like they're coming too fast. Like you're not ready. You never feel ready to throw the next pitch.
Yes, because they make you think on it. You know what? When you're pitching a game like Anderson's pitching right now, you got to make the hitter slow you down. And that used to be when you see a pitcher's in a good groove and he's doing something, walk outside the box. That's what you were taught when you were a hitter. Don't let him get into that rhythm. You got to try and take him out of it. Bunt, do something. It's all part of a head game. You know, forget whether they're trying to speed up the game or you've got to stay in the box. You do not. That's a bunch of baloney. The pitchers dictate the tempo of the ball game, and you can see that when they're terrible, when you get guys on base, they don't want to throw a baseball a lot of times.
Popped up, foul ground. On a 3-2 pitch, Santana's there. And once again, Cody Anderson, 3 up, 3 down, 15 in a row to start the night. Tampa Bay is hoping to get healthy soon. They're expecting Matt Moore possibly to pitch before this series is over. He threw a bullpen session today. But if they get him back, if they get Drew Smiley back, if they get Jaco DeRisi back.
Right, that's certainly help, isn't it?
Unfortunately, Alex Cobb will not be back. But look, the American League East, it's wide open. 4 teams separated by 1 game.
Yes, it is. It certainly is.
And there's no
dominant,
clear-cut superpower. Liner to third, right at Longoria, and Urshela is out number 1.
Well, he got a base hit that way the other time. A breaking ball on an 0-2 count. He hit this one harder. And it goes right to Longoria.
This was Matt Moore. He threw his bullpen session, I think it was around 4 o'clock this afternoon. This was Moore getting loose.
This guy was a great young pitcher coming up. Had the arm surgery, and I'll tell you, he may start the game Thursday. That's what it's looking like.
Michael Bourne struck out in the second, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. Just off the outside edge.
You know, but this is how the Rays play. This has been all Indians tonight. They have 9 hits through 5 innings, and it's only a 2-0 game. They're not able to open it up any bigger. And the Rays are still hanging around, and the Indians guys throw a perfect game.
Well, I mean, the Indians should have at least a couple more runs. Bourne goes down swinging. That's 7 strikeouts for Carnes, 2 down. Time for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pawlowski. All right, 2 down now for Jason Kipnis, who doubled and scored in the first, drove in a run in the second with a base hit. He was intentionally walked his last time up. And he looks at a strike. Broke his bat. And the Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. Bottom third of the Tampa order due up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Drupal Cabrera will lead off. And a pitch down low for ball 1.
12 of 16 first pitch strikes.
He has pitched with machine-like efficiency.
Yeah, he only has 1 strikeout. 6 ground ball outs.
Right at Urshela, who was in on the turf. 1 away.
An easy little one hopper. He just stayed inside. He was trying to go the other way, and it was an easy one hopper to Gio over at third. Throws it to first. They get 7 ground ball outs now. 8 fly ball outs and a strikeout.
That'll bring up Mark Krause. And a strike over the outside corner. Krause, born and raised in Deschler, Ohio. Big Indians fan. Went to a lot of Tribe games growing up. Sends one high in the air to center field. Bourne is back. He's there, and he makes the catch. 2 down. Tomorrow night, we're back here at Tropicana Field for Game 2 of this series. Danny Salazar goes for the Tribe. Erasmo Ramirez for Tampa. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with Indians Live, and then first pitch at 7 right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Ramirez was the guy that had to come out of the game at Cleveland because he hurt his groin.
No,
Remember
that's
at
right.
his start? Had to come out around the 5th inning.
2 down for Rene Rivera, who takes a strike. Yeah, it happened on a play where he was trying to cover first base, and he was reaching back for the bag with his foot. Overextended himself. He stayed in the game after that.
Yeah, that happened in the first inning. Yeah. He had to came out a little bit later.
Down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rivera popped up on the infield his first time up, and it was a kind of a weird play where Kipnis thought he saw it, then lost it. Santana lost it, and then Carlos found it again and caught it.
Yeah.
Put a little drama into the infield pop-up, which can happen in this ballpark. Rivera 2 hits in his last 16 at-bats. And he fouls this one back out of play. Anderson's 2-2. Pulls it foul. See a lot of guys wear the shin guard as hitters. Maybe an ankle protector. Rivera must have really whacked one off the inside of his knee, because very rarely do you see a guy wear a pad that high up on his leg.
And he's the catcher, so maybe it's a part of his shin guard that he stayed on. You're right, you don't see him there.
Pulls it foul again on third base side. Now the 2-2. I guess back in your day, if you fouled one off your ankle or off your shin, you just didn't do that again. Because they didn't have pads for you, did they?
No.
Did you roll up a newspaper and tape it
Well,
under
you
your
know
sock,
what they
maybe?
would do, Jimmy, would usually tape like a piece of foam rubber or something underneath your sanitary.
Oh, yeah?
You tape it on your leg. Maybe a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. I don't know what it did.
Was that a Jimmy Warfield innovation?
Probably, yes.
Well, it's a full count. The payoff pitch. Yanked foul. This has been a heck of an at-bat for Rivera.
It has, and he's coming right at him with the fastball, and he was ready for that one on the inside part of the plate. He pulled it foul. been staying inside with him all at bat, and he was ready for that one.
Popped him up.
Stayed right in there.
Urshela in foul ground makes the catch. And Cody Anderson continues to cruise. By Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable. Cody Anderson all by his lonesome in the Indians dugout.
Rightfully so.
He is having a special night to this point. And the Indians with a 2-0 lead as we go to the 7th inning. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen for Tampa will be for Xavier Cedeno, taking over for Nathan Carnes, who went 6 innings. You talk about bobbing and weaving. They only allowed the 2 runs, even though the Indians battered them around.
What's the old saying when you're a starter? I got to keep my team in the ball game. He did just that today. Left 8 stranded. He didn't have his good curveball, but he hung in there.
The old bend but don't break
Yeah,
method.
gave up 2, 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and then threw 4 zeros up there. So not a bad job.
Francisco Lindor almost took Mike Sarbaugh with it. Man, who went down?
That had to be Webb.
Ryan Webb.
He fell off. He looked like a javelin throw.
Was he diving for the ball?
No, he was getting out of the way.
What the
he
heck
fell
happened?
off the thumb box or something. Watch.
Oh, he was trying to get out of the way.
He was just bailing. Oh, boy. You know what? We got to tell him we got that on tape. No, he's looking.
I was just stretching.
He's acting like he's stretching. Right.
Well, this is, what, the only ballpark? Well, Oakland, where the bullpens are exposed. You're out there.
Oh, that's funny.
No, Wrigley also. We were in Wrigley this year. We got the open bullpens.
San Francisco.
Lindor went too far, and that'll be a strikeout for Cedeno, 1 away. Our stat of the game is brought to you by Buick. Tampa's bullpen has been dynamite, and they have been used a lot.
Yeah, well, their starters aren't going deep in the game, so you can see 261 innings out of that bullpen. 34 saves, though, and they have multiple guys with saves.
Well, and you have to understand, too, 2 things. One, Kevin Cash learned under Terry Francona, who knows how to use a bullpen,
Yes.
mix, match.
Well, he was in charge of the Indians bullpen, so you're right. And that guy next to him, Kevin Hickey.
And also, you have to remember that the injuries that they've suffered to their starting pitchers have forced him to maybe go to his bullpen earlier in games because he's got a lot of young starters who can't get deep into games.
Yeah, you're better off taking him out a hitter or two earlier than leaving him in later and having big innings, and he's done a beautiful job. But when you do that, can they hold up through the rigors of a full baseball season when it gets hot? You know, the dog days of August and getting into the back part of the year, usually you wear down. You certainly need more help out of their starters than what they're getting right now, and that could be soon.
Great break on the ball by Kiermaier, who ran in and caught it for out number 2. I mean to tell you, and I know you said that they play deep, but he gets a really good read and jump on the baseball.
He's ready to break in with everything. Like you said, a sprinter coming out of the starter block.
Yeah.
You see how those 3 or 4 steps were so quick as soon as that ball left the bat, because he knows it's not going to be hit over his head.
Kevin Cash out to the center of the diamond. He's going to make a move right here, as Ryan Rayburn was announced as a pinch hitter for David Murphy. So Cash will counter with a right-hander out of the pen. Timeout, 2-0 Cleveland.
Take on the Oakland A's on Friday, July 10th in the last series before the All-Star break. You can save on tickets. You buy lower reserved or box by July 6th and save 20%. So come on out. Go to Indians.com.
Ryan Rayburn looks. It's ball 1 up high. Ryan Rayburn takes.
Well, Gomes has allowed only 2 walks in his last 16 appearances, covering 13 in the 3rd innings. Both came in Cleveland when he pitched against the Indians last homestand.
So good as a pinch hitter this year, 5 out of 16 with 8 driven in. Batting with the bases empty and 2 down here in the 7th inning. 3 men on the left side of the infield for Tampa. And Rayburn shoots it foul over that way. Indians with a run on the first and 1 on the second. And many opportunities by the board since then. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. Rayburn can't believe it. Doug Eddings brings him up. Stretch time here in St. Pete. Indians lead it 2-0 in the 7th inning stretch. Well, I'm sure everybody back in Quincy, California that tuned in to watch Cody Anderson's Major League debut on Father's Day. Word spreads fast these days with social media. I'm sure they're starting to scramble to find a game on a tube somewhere now.
Why wouldn't you?
Just his second Major League start. And he is working on something special here tonight. Into the 7th inning, Kevin Kiermaier leading off takes. It's a strike to even the count of 1-1.
Yeah, very aggressive tonight. Anderson, 51 of his 72 pitches have been strikes.
18 up, 18 down. As you pointed out,
he did.
Only the one strikeout he did not go, says third base umpire Bill Miller, the crew chief. But he's just been so efficient. That was close, but just missed. 3-1. Kevin Kiermaier grounded to first in the first, flied to left in the 4th. And a big bouncer to Santana, who will take it himself for out number 1.
Well, you get that first out of the inning, that always helps, but Cody Anderson has been so good tonight, just moving the ball around, changing speeds, getting him to beat it on the ground, letting his defense do the work. One a few times he was behind the hitter just to lead this inning off, and he comes right back and gets the ground ball out. Some easy pop-ups as well.
Brady Sizemore lined out to center his last time up. Flied to left back in the first inning. Foul. Certain irony in this game in that Cody Anderson, coming out of high school, really wasn't much of a pitcher. He was mostly an outfielder, and it was the Tampa Bay Rays who drafted him in the 17th round out of high school. But he did not sign. He went to Feather River Junior College in California in his hometown of Quincy. And he was about to go to TCU on a scholarship when the Indians made him a 14th round pick in June of 2011, and he decided to sign and start his pro career. Now the 1-2. Brady drives one to deep right field. Back is Moss. He's going to watch it leave the yard. Brady Sizemore spoils it for Cody Anderson here with one out in the 7th inning. And the Rays are on the board, and it's now a 2-1 ball game.
You know, not only spoiled that perfect game he had working, but also kills the shutout. Fastball in. He came in, and he didn't get it in there. You see where Gomes had to reach back. Grady got enough of it over the yellow line. And we have a one-run ball game right now. That's the first hit, the first run for the Rays.
And now up comes Evan Longoria, 0 for 2 on the night. Takes a strike. Anderson goes right back to work. Line drive, base hit in the left field. And it gets by Brantley, and Longoria goes to second base.
Boy, a mistake there by Brantley. I don't know if he took his eye off it or what. He didn't catch it cleanly. And it gets underneath his glove to the wall, and that's the tying run that you put in scoring position. It's just a routine single. He hit it hard. But Brantley going to walk over there and just never got the glove down. Goes off the end of it. Trickles behind him, so now Longoria gets into second base. And Mickey Callaway is going to take a little jaunt out to the mound to have a talk.
Snaps an errorless streak for Brantley that went back to April of a year ago. And Mickey Callaway will give the bullpen some time to get down. There's no phone communication down there, so they're using hand signals now. The bullpen, everybody's got their hands up. Who do you want to get loose? So. Looks like Brian Shaw will get up for Cleveland.
You have cell phones. Why don't you just grab a cell phone? They don't work in here?
I don't think you're allowed to have them on the field or on the bench.
I got him. I'll go in the tunnel.
Well, this things turn in a hurry here. Solo homer by Grady Sizemore, of all people, breaks up the perfect game in the 7th inning for Cody Anderson. And then a guy who never makes a mistake, Michael Brantley, commits an error. Now the tying run is in scoring position with one out. David DeJesus 0 for 2 on the night. Santana backhands it. Good feed to Anderson for out number 2. Tying run to third. And Logan Forsythe will be the batter. Logan Forsythe has grounded out twice, once to short, once to third. And Cody with 2 quick strikes to get ahead of him. And the 0-2 delivery is a little bit low and away. Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, got ahead of him and tried to get him to chase a couple of pitches out of the zone. That's
slicing near the line. Moss makes the catch. And that ends the inning. Tying run dies at third for Tampa. But Grady Sizemore breaks up a perfect game with a homer here in the seventh. 2-1 Cleveland. Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. The Indians lead it. And we roll on to the eighth inning. We got a thrilling game here, and Alan Jensen will have a ball recapping this one regardless of how it wraps up. This has been a fun one to watch, dissect, and enjoy. So Indians Live brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care comes your way after the game. Kirby Yates on to face Carlos Santana to start the eighth inning.
7 strikeouts in his 5 2/3 innings.
Oh, 0-1. Santana 1 out of 3 tonight. Struck out his last time up.
It was given, if you remember, an extra strike in that at bat because the play behind the plate where he popped up a first and second. And Doug Eddings said that Rivera never held on to the ball. He dropped it.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out.
Right.
That's an opportunity that you hope doesn't come back to haunt the Indians. But
well, they've had their opportunities tonight. 9 hits. They have left 8 stranded, but they still have a 2-1 lead. Cody Anderson has been brilliant again.
Play. Way off the dish. In the dirt and almost hit Santana on the back foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. swung on and missed. He strikes him out.
Well, season tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. Today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Kluber. So visit Indians.com and season tickets for complete details.
Brandon Moss 0 for 3 on the night. Kirby Yates was signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Rays out of Hawaii. Born and raised. Bounce to the first base. 2 down. Women's World Cup semifinals tomorrow. Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. When the Rays signed Kirby Yates, their scouting director, R.J. Harrison, said it cost us more to fly him from Hawaii to Princeton, West Virginia, than what we gave him as a signing bonus.
How about that? He probably had 8 stops to get there. Can't get anywhere direct anymore.
One of 4 brothers, and they're all lifelong surfers. Not hard to imagine if you grew up in Hawaii. I suppose
no
that kind
kidding. That's like
riding a bike.
That's right. Why wouldn't you?
Yan Gomes doubled and scored the last run for the Indians in the second. Single to lead off the fourth, but was stranded at third. And he flied out to end that 5th inning with a runner at third base. And since the walk by Murphy to put the first 2 on in the 5th inning,
yeah, it's been lights out, hasn't it?
11 in a row retired by Tampa pitching. You know, kind of half joking with some of the Tampa coaches found around the batting cage before the game. This is the game you expect between these two teams. They've played a lot of games like this. The Indians have played a lot of games like this.
Yeah.
No scoring. 2-1. Rather the 2-2 pitch with the 2-1 score here in the 8th inning and a full count for Gomes.
Well, the Indians are 8-8 in 1-run games. The Rays have played 25. They're 11-14.
Remember, Rick, there was a while where the Indians didn't play in a 1-run game for the longest time.
You're right. It was the first month and a half. They only had a couple.
Here's the payoff pitch with 2 down. And Gomes drives one to deep left field to Jesus Beck. He's out of room. It's out of here. Yan Gomes restores the Indians' 2-run lead with his 3rd home run of the year on a 3-2 pitch. It's his 3rd hit of the night. A shot to left field that flew out of here, and the Indians lead 3-1.
Well, he picked on a hanging breaking ball, and there was no doubt. You hang him, we bang him. He did. Into the seats. That gives him that insurance run that they were looking for, and it gives it to him quickly. And a spinner that stayed on the middle 3rd of that plate that speeds up the bat of Yan Gomes, and he hits his 3rd home run. Boy, and the Indians needed that. You can see how Yates feels about it. He realized he made a mistake.
Giovanni Urshela takes a strike. He's 1 out of 3 tonight. Well, that had to feel good for Gomes because he's needed a game like this. I mentioned when he was up his first time, he was just 4 for his last 37. It just seemed to me like you could see him pressing with each and every at bat.
Yeah, we're all doing it, but you know, you have that little meeting, and what happens? Who has the multi-hit games here in today's contest? Kipnis, Brantley, Gomes. Okay, so what happens when push comes to shove? Your leader's got to step forward.
They did,
and to me, those are the three, and they made a step.
Rick, you played a long time. You know that sometimes leadership is funny in baseball. It's not that rah stuff that can get you fired up for a football game. It's more by how you go about your daily business.
Yeah, and it's changed. It's changed a lot since back when I played. It's totally different now than what it used to be. You can't go out there and get vocal. You know, where it used to be. They used to have some really tough, you know, people that would come in there.
Andre's grabbing a bat.
Look at him. Well, go ahead and hit then, son. If you got it, go hit. I don't know if they have a helmet that'll fit that head.
Does he think he is the bat boy now?
Look at, he's hearing us.
Hey, the umpire was fish-eyeing you over there. He might run you if you go on the field
again. Take the tie off and go swing it.
I would love to swing. I'd prefer somebody that's throwing a little softer. Why don't you get out there and pitch?
Oh, I will.
The crew chief, Bill Miller's still eyeballing you. You better be careful.
I know. It's not the first time I've been in trouble.
It won't be the last either.
The 1-2 that we're showing.
How does he go on the field and get the bat? My goodness. Told you the game has changed.
Act like you've been there. Act like you know what you're doing. Nobody bothers you.
Look. Oh, he'll be all over YouTube now.
The 2-2 foul back. The 2-2. And he strikes him out. But Yan Gomes goes deep for the Indians. And the Tribe leads it 3-1, middle of the 8th. Gomes home run restoring the Indians' 2-run lead. More importantly, he has worked Cody Anderson into the 8th inning tonight. 14-inning scoreless streak to start his career. Stopped by the Grady Sizemore homer with 1 out in the 7th inning. Cody went 7 2/3, 6-hit shutout baseball against this Tampa club in his major league debut, and he's followed that up with another gem here tonight. He was perfect through 6 1/3 innings tonight.
Yeah, you know, he's been aggressive. He's really been fun to watch.
Retired the first 19 in a row before the Grady Sizemore home run. Then Longoria had a base hit to left. An error by Bourne put him in scoring position, but he retired the next 2 hitters to get out of the inning. And he's only still at 90 pitches, which is why he's right back out here in the 8th. Double barrel action in the Tribe pin, though. Steven Souza is 0 for 2, but he's got the power in this Tampa lineup. 14 home runs. But 0 for his last 16 at the plate. To left, Brantley coming in, slides and makes the catch for out number 1. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and boy, what a night it has been for Cody Anderson. You had a feeling that he might be onto something really special the way he was pitching tonight. Everything was going his way.
Yeah, you get to 6 innings and you've got a perfect game. Boy, he was sitting by himself in the dugout, but it's how he's gone about his business. He looked much more relaxed out there early in the game, and he was really just been letting his stuff play, you know, make his defense do the work.
As Dribble Cabrera is 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground ball outs. And he's been on fire. He had 3 hits yesterday. But Cody has cooled him off. Pops him up. Shallow right. In comes Moss. 2 down.
Now, I want to see him get this final out here where you can just hand it over to the closer in the 9th. That would be something special as well for a young man making his 2nd start. There you go. You know, this is the way to go, and you stop a losing streak, and he's done everything under his power.
Called a strike on the outside edge. The only strikeout Anderson has logged tonight came at the expense of Mark Krause back in the 3rd inning on a called 3rd strike with a changeup. A little bit outside, 1-1. I mentioned it at the time with Krause and Anderson. These are the 2 biggest guys on the field. Cody's 6'4", 235. Krause listed at 6'2", 235. It doesn't look like he's shorter than Anderson. Maybe he's grown since those vital statistics were printed out, but and the 1-2 in the dirt. Him up, but out of play. And the count is now full.
Now this will be pitch number 100. See if he can end it right here and get the 3rd out.
Swung out and missed. He struck him out. Cody Anderson finishing in fine style here tonight. 3-1 Cleveland. Cody Anderson, a job well done. And just his second major league start. We'll go to the ninth inning here in St. Pete. Tampa will go to their fifth pitcher of the night, Ronald Belisario.
Well, for Belisario, his fifth game he is appearing in. With the White Sox last year, we saw him quite often. It's
he's kind of found something here in Tampa, from what it sounds like.
It seems like a lot of relievers find something here in Tampa. With other ball clubs, they come over here, and it looks like they're on their last leg, and they revive their career. Well, he's got Bourne, Kipnis, Lindor on the table.
Bourne's bat split in two, and he's out number one. This July, baseball's best players gather in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic with home field advantage on the line in the World Series. Our coverage of the All-Star Game begins July 14th at 7 Eastern on Fox, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Jason Kipnis doubled and scored in the first, drove in a run with a base hit in the second inning. He was intentionally walked to load him up in the fourth and then popped up on the infield his last time up. Foul play. Foul and out of play. And the 1-2 from Belisario is down and in. Is that going to find a hole? Backhanded by Forsythe, and he can't throw out Kipnis. Another base hit for the Tribe's leadoff man. Jason's third hit of the night.
Another 3-hit game for Kipnis. Yeah, when you're going at the second baseman, if he has to go up the middle, there's no reason he's going to be able to make this play. Kipnis gets down the line well enough to beat it out, and he does easily.
It's his ninth 3-hit game on the year.
I mean, think about it. That's nice when you can triple up. 9, make it 12.
Well, I guess the Indian stat book is wrong then.
Well, we'll update it.
Ripped to right field, and that's going to get down and get by Souza. Kipnis rounds second, on his way to third, and he'll be held there.
Well, with one out, and you've got Brantley coming, you go ahead, and you know that ball got by Souza in right field, but he was back at the wall, and I don't think they could have sent him anyway. It'll be the first double for Lindor in his major league career. We thought he had one in his very first at bat in Detroit until he fell down. There goes Kipnis. Had to wait to see as he gets to third base. Mike Sarabaugh says, nope, hold on.
So they're going to intentionally walk Michael Brantley. And it goes to the backstop. The Indians will get a run. Here comes Kipnis. He scores. How do you like that? On an attempted intentional walk, he's just trying to throw it out there to the catcher Rivera, and he sailed it over his head, and alertly Kipnis dashed home with the Indians' 4th run of the night.
Boy, sometimes you just never know. I mean, you think it's so easy. Just flip it up. You're 60 feet away. That guy, he could have been Wilt Chamberlain, and he would have had a tough time catching that ball.
Wilt still might have been the only one who had a
That's
chance.
Right. In comes Kipnis. That's a nice going.
Wild pitch.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Now the crowd with a mock cheer as Belisario nails Rivera. So 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
Well, now instead of having the bases loaded and looking for the double play, they have to do it with 1st and 3rd. Ryan Rayburn going to be the hitter coming to the plate. This is where you just want to take advantage and let out some frustration, add on, keep going. They give you a break on the wild pitch.
Rayburn cuts and misses. And foul into the glove. Low and away. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle, and that's through. Rayburn drives home Lindor, and the Indians with 2 here in the 9th have opened up a 5-1 advantage.
Well, they get the ground ball they're looking for, but it finds a hole. They're not playing them up the middle and into center field. So another run. It'll be 1st and 2nd now. So Rayburn gets the RBI single. He came on. That was his 2nd at bat. The Indians with 5 on the board here tonight after 1 in the 8th. A solo home run by Gomes, 2 in the 9th.
Santana 1 for 4 on the night. And struck out his last 2 times up.
I think that goes from Allen to Shaw down there in the bullpen too.
Now Cody's still up, but you got to wonder.
But look who's joined him. You know, this being a 4-game series and all, do you want to use him if you don't have to?
Well, he pitched last night, didn't he?
Allen?
Yeah, he had a terrific, well, over 2 games yesterday, but yes, he did. Struck out the side, remember, in the 7th inning?
Yeah, he came in to get some work. Was that the night game or the day game? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was the night game.
Okay.
Yep.
It was one long game.
3-1 pitch, or 2-1 pitches outside. 3-1 for Santana. And Belisario delivers. It's outside, ball 4, and that'll load him up. right, so I figured out the statistical discrepancy.
Okay, what happened?
So for Kipnis, he now has 9 games with exactly 3 hits in it.
So
he also has 3 4-hit games. So
that's added to it.
How you get
gotcha.
to 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Figures lie, liars figure out. Sometimes
it all depends on how you look at it.
Right. I know one
you were right. He has exactly 9 3-hit games, but got 3 4-hit games too.
They count as well. Moss smashes one to second. Diving stop by Forsythe, and no double play. The Indians will get another run. Moss beating it out. Brantley scoring. 3 home here in the 9th for the Indians. 6-1 Cleveland. That's a nice stop by Forsythe.
Yeah, it's really a nice play. And they were thinking of turning 2. Boy, you could see Combs. He was running so hard. The last thing he wanted to do was ground into a double play. They get 1. They make it close at first, but the Indians score 1 more, make it 6-1.
Moss picks up his 37th RBI on the year. Now Yan Gomes, who homered in the 8th inning and really gave the Indians a huge lift when he did, because it was a 1-run game. And the Rays had just scored in the bottom of the 7th on a home run by Sizemore to cut the lead to a run. And with 2 outs on a 3-2 pitch, he cleared the wall in left field, and I think almost felt like he gave everybody just okay, you can breathe again.
Because you know what it is. That's a close game, and they were dominating at the time. They had 9 hits. They had left 8 left on base at that time, and they should have had more. So he did it with one swing of the bat. It gave him a little breather. Solo home runs, that's their art, man. They have about 45 solo home runs.
45, 62 have been solo shots.
That's what I'm thinking. That was a hanging breaking ball. And Gomes just missed one earlier, if you think about it, in the game. In the 2nd inning, leading off, he missed it by a foot. So maybe that stroke's starting to come around for Yan.
You know, if you're wondering, what does that mean? 45 out of 62 home runs have been solo shots. The 17 home runs that the Indians have hit with a man on base or men on base is the 2nd lowest total in all of baseball.
Right. Yeah, when you like to get 2-3 run home runs or even a grand slam. I mean that's one reason why they're not a good come from behind team, because in one swing of the bat they're not good at providing 3 runs.
Another ball goes to the backstop. Another run comes home.
Wow.
Rayburn scoring. We'll see how it's scored. I know Rivera got leather on it. It's probably another wild pitch.
I would think so. The way this guy's been this inning, it is a wild pitch. They should call timeout and bring in the L screen to put behind the catcher. It is. It's a wild pitch down in the dirt. Look, you can't sit as a catcher with this guy in the mound and think you're in a rocking chair. You've got to be ready to go for everything. But normally you don't spike fastballs. You know what I'm saying? It's a breaking ball.
He's not expecting
You're not
that,
expecting it on a fastball.
Gomes swings and misses, and the inning is over. Tribe sends 8 men to the plate. They score 4 times, twice on wild pitches, and they lead it 7-1. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care, coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio. Looking back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Take advantage of the hitters' counts. Well, the Indians, they swung the bats very well tonight. Kipnis, Brantley, and Gomes all with 3-hit outings, and Gomes went deep, just missed, hitting a second home run in the ball game.
Cody Anderson did stop the Rays, didn't he?
And even though they left a lot of opportunities in the early part of the game, they were aggressive. I like the approach right out of the gate. They came out swinging the bats well.
Yeah, not all the results you were looking for, but it was, yes, a much better approach.
And if you missed it earlier, Andre filled us in that the Indians had a team meeting before the ball game tonight. It wasn't a case where Terry Francona read them the riot act. I know sometimes fans want to hear that. They want to, they want to know that, hey, he's going to rattle their cage and air them out. That doesn't always work, though. That lasts a short period of time. What he did was, as Andre explained to us, he made some notes last night, made some more notes today, and he went and addressed the team and said, hey, look, this is who we said we were going to be as a team when we came out of spring training. And he wanted them to get back to those ideals, those concepts that they talked about, the team they wanted to be. Felt like they had strayed from it.
Well, it can certainly happen.
Maybe tonight's a good step in the right direction.
Well, you get the win. And it's the first game of a series. It's something they desperately need. It's going to be a 4-game series, but after this, 3 games to go after this one tonight, still got to stop in Pittsburgh. So yes, you got to start somewhere, and this is a good time to start. And if you missed it, Andre almost had an at-bat tonight in today's game.
He was trying. Here's a fly ball to center field. Back goes Bourne. Still going back. Can't make the play. It's over his head off the wall. And Rivera lumbers into second base with a leadoff double.
Yeah, he hit this ball to straightaway center. That's going to hit the wall. It was like a cutter up. And that ball hits off the wall and deflects past Michael Bourne. Will come back, but it's a double for Rivera. That'll be his 11th.
I wonder if that second turn that Bourne took gave him trouble picking the baseball back up again.
It very well could. When you're in here and you get turned around, it's tough picking the baseball back up.
Kipnis grabs it, flip to second, double play! Holy smokes! Great reaction by Kipnis and Lindor, and the Tribe turns 2.
A mistake by Rivera. You can't go anywhere down 7-1, but just got caught in between. That's a catcher right there. He gets that momentum going one way. Let's see what happens. He should be freezing, but that's all it took was a half a step, and the long flip, and the Lindor was right behind him, so the stretch. Nice. They get the double play, and it certainly was.
Kevin Cash is going to ask him to take a look at it.
Okay, they can look at it, but he's out. He hurt his knee. He got his momentum started going one way and had to come back, and I don't know if he might have gotten to the bag, but it was after Lindor had the ball and his foot was on it. At least from our replay.
Yeah, he has the right to challenge. He has.
Well, you're down to 2 outs. You got nothing left. It was the long backhanded flip by Kipnis. And watch, it's in the glove. His foot's on the bag. He's a foot away from the bag. And look at, he twisted his ankle as he went back in there too, with all that weight going down on it. He's out.
Well, they quickly.
Well, yeah, it wasn't
confirmed that. So 2 down. And Grady Sizemore ruined the perfect game of Cody Anderson with 1 out in the 7th inning when he homered to right field. Just missed. And it's 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Grady Sizemore is never going to be a headliner on Comedy Central, but this guy has always been a hard-nosed player. That when you put him in the lineup, you know one thing: you're going to get everything he has.
Yeah. Well, he was a very exciting player for years with the Indians, no question. He was the face of that team.
And look, it's no fault of his, but I think the Indians organization, front office guys, they deserve credit too for standing by him. I mean, he had some devastating injuries, and they kept giving him opportunities to try and come back. It just ultimately didn't work out. It's too bad.
No, that's the name of sports and baseball and everything. It's, what have you done for me lately? And once you get injured, you start the injury train. There's nothing you can do. It happens to a lot of great players in every sport.
Full count.
He was one of my all-time favorites. He played the game the way you should. Hard, ran everything out. Played offense, played defense. Never, you know. He's the kind of guy you pay. You don't mind paying for a ticket to watch this guy play.
Sizemore strikes out, and this game is over. Brian Shaw strikes him out to end it, and the Indians stop their skid with a convincing 7-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Rays in the series opener here tonight. Cody Anderson gets his first major league win, and he was almost perfect in the process. 8 innings, 1 run, 2 hits allowed, no walks, only a couple of strikeouts. That's all he needed. Losing pitcher Nathan Carnes, he falls to 4-4. With the win, the Indians are 34-41. Tampa falls to 42-36. Not sure what Baltimore did ultimately.
They're getting beat 8-1 in the 8th.
So it sounds like Tampa will probably stay. What about New York? They were only a half game out.
Didn't see New York.